What if the man you were forced to marry was the only one trying to keep you alive? And what if love was just another weapon in a billion-dollar war for the truth? Welcome to Runaway Heiress, the Golden Cage. Buckle up. It's about to detonate. You ever feel like a doll? Pretty face, perfect posture, strings pulled by everyone except yourself? Yeah. That was my life. The night I ran away from my own wedding, it wasn't some dramatic, cinematic escape. No slow-motion sprint through rain-soaked streets. No passionate last kiss at the altar. It was 3 Advil, a stolen Mercedes, and the 5 a.m. freight train to nowhere. Let me rewind. I, Lin Xue, was born with a diamond spoon in my mouth, sole heiress to the Lyncher conglomerate, human bargaining chip, and professional disappointment. My father's favorite threat? You'll marry the Jiang heir or you'll be nothing. And Jiang Chao? Picture a glacier in a tailored suit. Cold, untouchable, and so convinced I'd obey. The wedding was set for June 18th. The dress cost more than a penthouse. The guests were all vultures waiting to see the Lin family's broken bird finally caged. But then, I found the files. Hidden in my father's study. Financial records. Offshore accounts. And a single photo of a woman who looked exactly like me, standing beside Jiang Chao's father. Dated 2 months before my mother's accident. That's when I knew this wedding wasn't just a merger. It was a cover-up. So I did what any sensible heiress would do. I grabbed the emergency cash, my passport, and the ugliest hoodie I owned, and vanished into the neon sprawl of the city's underbelly. Or so I thought. Because at 3:17 a.m., as I slumped in a dingy motel room, the door kicked open. And Jiang Chao stood there, tie loosened, fury in his eyes, holding the train ticket I'd dropped. Lin Xue, he growled. You have 5 seconds to explain why I just called off a billion-dollar alliance for a woman who clearly hates me. I reached for the lamp. He caught my wrist. And that's when I noticed it, the fresh cut on his knuckles. Like he'd punched someone. Hard. Tick-tock, princess, he murmured. Why'd you really run? Turns out, when you run from a wolf, you should really check if he's actually the hunter, or just another trapped animal. Jiang Chao's grip on my wrist was iron, but his eyes? Those were something else entirely. Not the cold CEO stare I expected. More like a man who just set fire to his own life. You called off the wedding? I choked out. His laugh was bitter. 10 minutes after you jumped out that bathroom window. My father's currently drafting my disinheritance papers. The motel AC hummed between us. I could smell his cologne, spice, and something smokier, like he'd been standing too close to burning secrets. Show me your phone, I demanded. To my shock, he handed it over without a fight. The last outgoing call? Detective Chin, 2:47 a.m. Latest text thread, find her before they do. I threw it at his chest. Explain. Now. He caught the phone one-handed, his other still caging me against the stained mattress. That photo you found? The woman was my father's mistress. She's also the only witness to your mother's accident. The world tilted. You knew? Not until tonight. His thumb brushed my racing pulse. But I know who did know. And they'll kill you for digging this up. Outside, a car screeched to a stop. Headlights bled through the curtains. Jiang Chao moved faster than I thought possible, yanking me to the floor as 3 gunshots splintered the doorframe right where my head had been. Still think I'm the villain, princess? He hissed in my ear. Then came the part one really didn't see coming. He pressed a key into my palm. My safe house. 43 Riverside Drive. Go. Now. What about you? His smile was all teeth. I'm going to remind my father why he should have feared me more than he loved his secrets. As the door exploded inward, Jiang Chao did something that rewired my entire brain. He kissed me. Hard. Fast. Like a promise. Then shoved me toward the fire escape as armed men stormed in. Last thing I heard before the night swallowed me whole? Run faster this time, Lin Xue. Funny thing about safe houses, nothing's ever really safe. Especially when the person who gave you the key is half murderer, half savior, and entirely too good at making your pulse race. The key Jiang Chao gave me opened the door to 3 things. 1. A penthouse with bulletproof glass. 2. A wall covered in surveillance photos of me. 3. A very awake, very armed woman aiming a gun between my eyes. Password, she snapped. I swallowed. Jiang Chao told me to. Wrong answer. Her finger tightened on the trigger. The swan drowns at midnight. I blurted. The gun lowered. Christ. He actually sent you. She flipped her dark hair over one shoulder. I'm May. His ex. And before you ask, yes, he's just as infuriating in bed as he is everywhere else. My stomach did something complicated. May snorted. Relax, rich girl. We dated at West Point. She tossed me a burner phone. He's alive. For now. The screen showed a live feed, Jiang Chao shirtless and bleeding in some warehouse, duct taped to a chair. My breath hitched. Your daddy's men work fast, May said. They grabbed him 20 minutes after you left that motel. I stared at the screen. At the way he smiled through split lips when they punched him. Like this was exactly where he wanted to be. Then I noticed the other camera angle, zoomed in on the interrogator's wrist. A Lin family cufflink. That's impossible, I whispered. My father would never. Not your father. May pulled up another photo. Your uncle. The one who's been embezzling for years. The one your mother confronted the day she died. The room spun. On screen, Jiang Chao spat blood and laughed. You're gonna need more guys. May grabbed my shoulders. Here's the fun part, princess, Chao let them take him. Because that warehouse? It's rigged to blow in, she checked her watch. 9 minutes. Your call. The burner phone vibrated. Unknown number. Answer it, May said. It's your real inheritance. They say when you stare into the abyss, it stares back. But no one warns you that sometimes, the abyss winks. The phone burned in my hand. I pressed it to my ear. Lin Xue. A woman's voice, smoky, familiar. You have your mother's stubbornness. My knees nearly buckled. Aunt Lee? The black sheep of the family. The one they said ran off with embezzled funds. Listen carefully, she hissed. Your uncle didn't just kill your mother. He's been laundering money through Jiang Corp for a decade. And Chao? He's been undercover for Interpol trying to prove it. On the surveillance screen, Jiang Chao headbutted one of his captors. Blood sprayed. The bomb is fake, Aunt Lee continued. But the files in that warehouse? Those will destroy your entire family. Chao's mission was to retrieve them until he met you. May shoved a bulletproof vest at me. We're going in. Why? My voice cracked. If he's Interpol, why risk everything for? Because you're the key, idiot. May jammed a gun into my hands. Your mother hid evidence in your childhood safety deposit box. Chao needed your biometrics to access it. The realization hit like a bullet. All those chance encounters. The way he'd studied me at parties. The wedding he never actually wanted. This wasn't love. It was a mission. The screen flickered. Chao was free now, fighting like a demon, heading straight for the server room. May breathed. He's going for the files. Then the feed cut out. Aunt Lee's voice turned urgent. Xue, your uncle has men at every exit. But there's one way in he won't expect. Where? The tunnels. The ones your mother showed you when you were 6. Ice flooded my veins. The forgotten memory surfaced, mother's laughter, damp stone, her whisper, our little secret, Xing'an. May was already moving. You know where that is, don't you? I grabbed her arm. Change of plan. I go in alone. Like hell. He'll never expect me, I said, loading the gun with shaking hands. And I owe Jiang Chao one last performance. Funny how the darkest truths come wrapped in the prettiest lies. Like how they told me I was running away, when really, I was running home. The tunnel smelled of damp earth and childhood secrets. My pulse roared in my ears as I emerged behind the warehouse wine cellar, exactly where Mother's whispered directions said I would. Through the vents, I heard shouting. The thud of flesh hitting flesh. Then Jiang Chao's voice, ragged but triumphant, "It's over, Lin Feng. Interpol has the files." My uncle's laugh made my skin crawl. And yet you're still here, bleeding out for a girl who'll never trust you. I stepped into the light. She shouldn't. Both men froze. Chao looked wrecked, one eye swollen shut, lips split, but his good eye burned when he saw me. My uncle? He looked like he'd seen a ghost. Swear, he cooed, reaching for me. This man has been lying to you. About which part? I kept walking. That he's Interpol? That he needed my biometrics? Or that he let me run so my uncle would expose himself? I stopped beside Chao. Oh wait, he told me all that. In code. Chao coughed blood, but his smirk was pure sin. Took you long enough, princess. The realization hit my uncle's face, the train ticket left to be found, the motel chosen for surveillance, even May's dramatic reveal, all staged. You partnered with him? My uncle's gun hand shook. I smiled my mother's smile. No. I outplayed him. Then I pressed the detonator in my pocket. The fake bomb alarm shrieked. As my uncle panicked, Chao moved, disarming him in 3 brutal seconds. When the cuffs clicked shut, my knees finally gave out. Chao caught me. The safety deposit box, he rasped. You knew it was empty? I touched his battered face. Mother's real evidence was never on paper. It was me. Because 6-year-olds remember more than people think. Like secret tunnels. Like a mother's last words. The ledger is in the swan. And most of all, the way a man screams when you whisper Interpol has the files in a voice identical to his dead sister's. The headlines called it the Swan Trial, the fall of the Lin Empire, the Interpol sting of the decade. No one wrote about how Jiang Chao healed slower than expected. How I spent every night in his penthouse rebandaging wounds and trading truths. Or about the real safety deposit box we opened together, the one with Mother's pearl necklace and a note. For my daughter's wedding day. Still hate me? Chao murmured as he fastened it around my throat this morning. I turned in his arms. More than ever. His laugh against my lips tasted like victory. Like freedom. Like a gilded cage finally unlocked.